What's up, you guys? It's Danae with All Things Pickleball. I'm with my husband today, and we're coming at you with a relational, tactical goodie. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but we actually have been playing pickleball together for about 3 years, and we play tournaments together, we play rec together, and we are still married.
Let's go.
Let's go. And I always tell people, you know, we have easily our best times on the courts and hands down our worst fights on the courts.
It's true.
So throughout the years and experience, we're gonna give you 3 tips that have helped preserve our relationship on and off the court.
All right, you want to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
So my first tip, it might seem like no-brainer, but it really just is assume the best.
Okay.
It's super easy to get on the court and, you know, if Barrett says that ball was going out, sometimes I just assume like, oh, he thinks I'm incompetent, or he thinks that I didn't know that, or whatever. And that never goes well, because that just immediately makes us like not on the same team. So assuming the best when it comes to any time there's a corrective tip, or even just a strategy, instead of seeing it as, oh, I'm getting corrected, or he doesn't think I'm a good player, just automatically assuming actually he wants to just genuinely help, and he wants us to play the best that we can play.
I would say tip number 2 would be don't play the blame game. So typically this would happen when we would lose a point, and right when you lose a point, it's easy to kind of switch into that mode of, hey, you hit an out ball.
Or when you miss and you look at the other person.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So just don't play the blame game. That goes with not making comments that are blaming the other person, but also don't play the blame game with yourself, because if you can, you know, keep a good attitude in your own heart, in your own, you know, atmosphere, then it's gonna help your relational connection. So try not to blame yourself and try not to blame them. And if you feel like you start to blame them, just really quick, just shut it down. Just say, hey, I'm not gonna blame him. I'm not gonna blame him. Not gonna blame her. And I promise, if you can just eliminate blame from your game, it'll be good. I wanted to have another rhyme there, but if you can eliminate blame from your game, you'll have a great day.
So the next tip, we're gonna kind of do it together. It's briefing and debriefing. So I'll talk about briefing. So briefing really simply is just a little conversation before doing something, talking about expectations and like what you're gonna be responsible for. So I always think of it like if we're on our relational A game, which we try to be, before we get on the courts, we wanna have a conversation that's like, hey, I love you, I'm really excited to play with you, you're my favorite teammate, I'm gonna do my best to assume the best in you, and I wanna have a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when you're in that brief, you're kind of like stating, this is why I'm here today, this is why you're here today, and just establishing it beforehand. I like that. So the other side of that would be the debrief.
Which this one's funny.
So the debrief, I'm sure you all do. If you're in a, you know, if you play with your significant other, I'm sure you all do it. It's your post pickleball conversation. So I remember Danae and I, when we first started dating, we play a lot of pickleball, and when we started getting more competitive into it,
we're competitive people, so
yeah, absolutely. Our debriefs in the car got emotional, you know. So you got to be a little careful with the debrief. But again, if you were doing all those tips that we gave you before, it should make your debrief a lot better. And debrief, I would just do little takeaways. Again, you're not blaming, you're not, you know, you're taking ownership of things you could actually do to get better.
That's a big one.
But when you debrief, just make sure, maybe hold hands, maybe look at each other. Maybe don't debrief in a very monotone voice on your way home. You know, as you're kind of looking out the window and avoiding eye contact. That's probably not gonna end well. Trust me, we've done it. So I would say those are some tips on your debrief. Add the brief and the debrief to your game, and you'll be sure to have those relational circuits firing.
If you are a couple or even just friends that play together and you have some really good tips, go ahead and leave them in the comment. What helps your relationship on and off the court? I want to hear them. And make sure that you like and subscribe so that you see more videos from me. I'm on Instagram and TikTok on All Things Pickleball. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means a lot if you hit the subscribe button. That really supports my channel. And don't forget to check the description below for any discounts. I'll see you guys in the next one.